I'm Kelly Epperson with WPAQ 740 AM, and I'm sitting here with Gene Clark, who is running for the South Ward City Commissioner seat in the upcoming Mount Airy municipal election. This interview is brought to you by Mount Airy Downtown Inc., MAD. MAD Inc. is a 501c3 nonprofit whose mission is to foster and stimulate economic growth and development within the city of Mount Airy's historic downtown area through a variety of strategies and activities. MAD Inc. is an award-winning North Carolina Main Street organization committed to historic preservation-based community revitalization. The MAD Inc. Board of Directors represents downtown property owners, business owners, residents, and civic leaders. The following questions will address downtown development issues that will affect the growth of the district in the coming years. Each of the 9 candidates for City Council has been invited to participate and will have an equal amount of time to answer the questions. The purpose of these interviews is to educate downtown stakeholders on the upcoming election and to encourage the citizens of Mount Airy to vote in the city municipal primary on October 8th, as well as the city municipal election on November 5th. More information on the upcoming election can be found through the Surry County Board of Elections. Question 1. The Spencer's Economic Development Project obviously looms large, and there have been many criticisms about how the city has handled this complex project. As a potential future city commissioner, you will need to decide how best to move forward. The city owns the property and the buildings that will be left after the selective demolition of unsound structures occurs this fall. 2-part question. What specific steps do you think the city should now take to maximize the public benefit from this property? And how do you see those action steps affecting the downtown district?
Thank you, Kelly, and Mount Airy Downtown for this opportunity. This issue has had a negative impact on our community. We all are suffering from Spencer's fatigue. The $3.6 million mistake symbolizes what's wrong with our current city council, and that's one of the reasons I'm running. There's a lack of transparency, honesty, fiscal responsibility, vision, and a total lack of respect for the taxpayer for their poor use of the tax dollars. So what do? I think first we need to have an open and honest conversation of how to dig out, no pun intended, of this costly mess. My initial goal would be to get a clear and unbiased understanding of the tax credits that are still available and what is required from the city to be able to utilize those tax credits. Second would be to determine the cost to make the property marketable. Depending upon that cost, we would need to determine the most economical and cost-effective way for the city to move forward. I would not move forward with anything until we have real facts and figures and haven't had an open and honest conversation with the community on how they feel we should move forward. We've had enough empty backroom deals and underhanded tactics to provide no job development. We also have uninformed officials who do not know an asset from a liability. We need a fundamental change in the mindset of the council and the established downtown elite. One of my opponents, Marie Wood, has a long history with the establishment, and my fear would be more of the status quo. A vote for Gene Clark would be a vote for transformative change to include all the Mount Airy, not just downtown. And a vote would also be for a focus on citywide economic development to help expand the tax base, not raise taxes.
Question 2. Among the money spent on the Spencer's project, about $740,000 wasn't spent on the actual Spencer's property. $750,000 paid for much-needed repairs and replacements of decades-old sewers, water lines, and storm water drainage under and around Willow and Oak Street, essential infrastructure improvements needed to support existing properties, whether the city bought Spencer's or not. The water lines and sewers in downtown Mount Airy are some of the oldest in the city, with many areas dating back to 1905, and they are failing. 2-part question. Will you put repair, replacement, and rehabilitation of the downtown sewer and water systems at the top of your priorities for capital improvements? And if so, how should the city pay for it?
Kelly, this is a nationwide problem affecting all small and large municipalities in America today. Similar to other small cities, our aging infrastructure needs to be either replaced, repaired, upgraded, and/or modernized. In order to do this, we need to first look at our day-to-day operational budget and reserve balance to determine what we can afford. Until we can get a firm grip on our spending, it will be impossible to address these issues in the future. One of my first priorities would be to see where we can become more efficient in our spending to find funds to address these issues. Second would be to develop a 12 to 36 month plan, not a 10-year plan, to begin to budget for these expenses and not to continue to spend recklessly. This is not rocket science, and we do not need a CPA to advise us here. It's basic math: spend less and save more. Last, we need to address the city as a whole, not just the downtown area. One of the largest employers in our city is the health industry. We need to make sure we provide educational and structural support to this area so we can continue to survive and thrive in our city. This is an untapped area of economic development that could be crucial for our city.
Question 3. In 2013, Mount Airy joined the North Carolina Main Street Program, and Mount Airy Downtown, Inc. was formed to manage the Main Street 4-point approach to downtown revitalization: organization, economic vitality, design, and promotion. In the last 6 years, we have seen significant growth downtown, with 57 facades redone, 27 building rehabilitations, 15 public improvement projects, 68 net gain full-time jobs, 45 net gain part-time jobs, 27 net gain businesses, 14 business expansions, 23 housing units created, and over $3.2 million in public investment, with $15.6 million in private investment downtown. MAD's work and goals are based on downtown economic development strategies that encourage historic preservation-based downtown revitalization. A two-part question. As a city commissioner, what would be your top priorities and goals for downtown over the next 4 years? How will those priorities support continued growth in the downtown district, which accounts for the largest concentration of property value in Mount Airy?
Kelly, this is a great question. First, I congratulate MAD for their success to date. As most experts in the field of downtown revitalization know, public support is an absolute requirement for success. Unfortunately, there's been mixed public support for Spencer's because of the ill-fated project was initially conceived under a cloud of secrecy and now resides in purgatory due to an absence of planning and a total lack of financial responsibility. Additionally, MAD's earlier revitalization side trip with a disbanded redevelopment commission, which includes my opponent Marie Wood as one of its key officials, in the 2015 election didn't gain any ground or public support. In fact, it achieved quite the opposite results. Now, having made these observations, as a city commissioner, I am willing to work with MAD, other members of the city council, and all interested parties to restart and re-energize downtown revitalization by welcoming new faces and new perspectives. We have the ingredients necessary to grow our downtown and entire community. As your commissioner, I will work to bring all parties together to make Mount Airy great again and be a leader for the community.
Question 4. The following list of initiatives has been drawn from downtown needs and priorities identified by MAD, the North Carolina Main Street Center, and several studies that have been undertaken in recent years with tons of data, lots of maps, and many pages of citizen input. Examples: Vision Mount Airy Land Use Plan, 2004 West Side Development Master Plan, 2008 Study on Spencer's Mill Complex, 2015 Study on Hotel Convention Center Feasibility, 2015 Mount Airy Comprehensive Plan, and the Mount Airy TDA Study, Strategic Direction 2020. Please simply react to each item on the list with either a thumbs up, meaning yes, I support this initiative. Question mark, meaning I might support this initiative if provided more information or on a modified basis. Or thumbs down, meaning no, I do not support this initiative. And please speak your response. Take stock of city property and other assets that potentially could be monetized, sold, or leased.
Yes, thumbs up.
Identify infrastructure improvement needs and implement a plan to update aging and failing infrastructure.
Yes, thumbs up.
Work with the Tourism Development Authority and other community partners to support a wayfinding plan providing updated signage for vehicular and pedestrian traffic.
Question mark, we need more information.
Undertake a more detailed market analysis to better understand our retail trade area and identify growth opportunities that could be targeted.
Question mark, need more information.
Develop a better, more comprehensive parking plan to address the chronic shortage of downtown parking.
Question mark, need more information.
Work with the community college and the public schools to promote and provide vocational and trade education and training.
Absolutely thumbs up, yes.
Provide greater support for a permanent farmers market.
Question mark, need more information.
Update streetscapes, including burying overhead power lines.
Thumbs down, no.
Develop public spaces, including pocket parks and a town commons.
Question mark, need more information.
Continue greenway connections or expansions through the downtown area.
Question mark, need more information.
Continue to support festivals and other events sponsored by nonprofit civic organizations.
Thumbs up, yes.
And in closing, please briefly elaborate on any of these topics and provide a closing comment.
Kelly, again, thank you and to Mount Airy Downtown for this opportunity. This election is crucial for the city of Mount Airy. Do we want to continue the status quo and waste more taxpayers' money, or do we want to vote for a change in our direction and move in a more conservative, pro-economic development direction? According to the North Carolina Department of Commerce, in 2018 in North Carolina, there were 157 new plants or expansions announced, 19,700 new jobs created, $3.5 billion in new investments, and 70% of this went to small towns and rural counties. How much did we get? What did we do in 2018? We raised taxes 25%. We spent $3.6 million on real estate and focused solely on Spencers and missed a lot of these opportunities. If I'm fortunate enough to be elected by the voters, I will work daily to bring these opportunities to the citizens of Mount Airy. I believe the voters see the need for change and hope they will go out on October the 8th and November the 5th and cast their vote for Gene Clark and a new direction for Mount Airy.